Hello mate, what's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well mate, really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series here on the channel where I reflect on what's been said about Chelsea, giving you my opinion on it mate. More importantly, as always, asking for yours, the viewer, the community, the people. Today we're discussing what Petr Cech said about the rebuild, how he's always on the phone. We're going to reflect on Fabrizio Romano updates, Marcos Alonso, Cesar Azpilicueta. We're going to talk about Skriniar, and we're also going to talk about Kalidou Koulibaly, who could be a serious marquee signing as he requires more money when Napoli are offering him less money. Lots to get into today, so thank you for joining me. Hope you're feeling comfortable. Pour yourself a drink. Please do drop a like. Takes a second. Thank you for doing that, mate. It's no effort for you, and it supports the content creator. You're, of course, all welcome to subscribe, and should you choose to do so, hit the bell to make sure you get notified when I upload. Let me just sip my water. Looks like it's disappearing there, because it must be... Look at that! Disappearing freaky water. It's to do with the green screen, I think. Anyway... Let's quickly quote and cite the Evening Standard, referencing what Petr Cech had said regarding Chelsea's busy summer, as if we didn't already know. Boom, headline. Chelsea set for, quote, busy summer, confirms Petr Cech as £200 million spending spree is planned. Chelsea technical and performance advisor Petr Cech, such a long title there, isn't it, says the club will have a, quote, busy summer as the transfer window opens, with defenders like Antonio Rudiger and Andreas Christensen leaving. Of course, Chelsea have confirmed yesterday that Andreas Christensen is indeed leaving Chelsea Football Club. Then doubts, of course, over Romelu Lukaku's future, and we've spoken about that at length with Jay-Z trying to broker an exit, maybe. And also, Lukaku, of course, speaking to the new owners, speaking to Todd Boehly, maybe seeing if there is a chance that he could be utilised in Chelsea's future, but we all think it's probably best he leaves. The Blues are in the market for high-end replacements and new additions to bolster the squad. Standard Sport understands that both Raheem Sterling and Gabriel Jesus are of interest. Of course, we've spoken about that recently on the channel, with the new owner Todd Boehly ready to sanction spending spree worth as much as the aforementioned £200 million, which is a lot in the transfer market, especially with reports suggesting that that sum could be increased with player sales, rather than player sales contributing to the total sum moving up to 200 mil. Cech has confirmed that the club are planning for a number of ins and outs, telling Sky Sports News, I live on the phone. It will be a busy summer. Yeah, I can bet he lives on the phone. I bet everyone lives on the phone. Tuchel, Boehly, Cech, Granovskaya. We will plan, prepare, and try to be as strong as we can next season. I think everybody knows where we are in terms of the team. We're missing half of it. Of course, we will try and strengthen the team. We want to do the best possible and be ready to compete next season. Compete. Remember, compete. The running theme of the Chelsea takeover isn't just like, oh, we continue going, we continue to exist. No, it's to compete as quickly as possible next season, apparently. It's going to be a tough season with the World Cup in between, so we're ready for that. Indeed, it's going to be tough and peculiar. And we're going to talk about defenders, Skriniar and Koulibaly in just a moment, but I quickly want to reference an update from big Fabrizio Romano. Says this: Barcelona is still working on Marcos Alonso deal. No doubts on the player side. He wants to go. Potential agreement ready with terms with Barca. Still waiting to find a solution with Chelsea. Barca also hoping to receive a final answer for Cesar Azpilicueta too. I think actually both Azpilicueta and Marcos Alonso would have no problem agreeing terms with Barcelona, and both would probably like to go. I think Marcos Alonso would just go, and Chelsea would be like, all right, make a few million on him. Cesar Azpilicueta, Barcelona don't want to pay anything for him. Chelsea, we've spoken about this in the last video, Chelsea might let him go for free because he's been here for a decade. He's won every single trophy. He captained us to our second European Cup, and he captained us to our first Club World Cup and the final missing trophy to complete the set. So with that, But if they get both, if they get Christensen, Azpilicueta, and Alonso, who all heavily featured in the Chelsea side, it will just strengthen. It will strengthen the cause, strengthen the need to strengthen. Does that make sense? Although, in a way, I read some of your. I always like to read your comments. I really enjoy your feedback, so thank you for commenting down below on the videos. I kind of agree that yes, Tuchel would love to keep Azpi. But he hasn't been great, actually, for a while now. I adore him, and he's been all over the pitch in terms of positions, and he's always left it all on the pitch, and we'll be forever grateful for his professionalism, dedication, to the badge. But maybe, yeah, even as a rotational player, which he won't want to be, because he can start for Barcelona. Yeah, maybe he's just not been that good anymore, so maybe, if you love him, let him go. So that's with Azpilicueta. So where should we start? I think Koulibaly's more interesting. So we're going to put a pin in that for the moment and move on to that. And let's quickly reference an article from The Express and talk about Skriniar. Because he's been linked to Chelsea and he's a good defender at Inter. And one speculates, reports suggest that he could possibly be involved in a Lukaku deal, like a swap deal, whatever. Swap deals rarely happen, but extraordinary circumstances require extraordinary solutions, which of course is our situation maintenant. Chelsea learned the price they must pay to sign Milan Skriniar after £43 million bid for Ace rejected. Now, not by Chelsea, but Paris Saint-Germain. Chelsea will have to pay a premium price to land Milan Skriniar this summer, as Paris Saint-Germain saw their €50 million, which is £42.3 million, bid for the defender rebuffed by Inter Milan. A host of top European clubs, including Chelsea, Tottenham, are aiming to strike a deal for the 27-year-old in the coming weeks. No surprise, Tottenham, Antonio Conte. He gets Perisic. He'll want all the players he's coached before, like the good ones. Victor Moses was a couple of years younger. He definitely would be going after him. Do you know all this kind of stuff? And Chelsea, of course, need sort of high-profile, decent defenders. Although Skriniar has evolved into a key player for Inter, the defender has just over 12 months left on his deal, so one more season, and could be sold by the Italian giants this summer, but they have no plans on letting him go for cheap. You need money. He's got 12 months left on his deal. That might suggest that he won't re-sign, and you're rejecting €50 million bids. I mean, wow. According to the new report from Football.London, PSG have already seen a mega bid rebuffed, and apparently Inter's valuation for the Slovakian defender is thought to be around €70 million, which, you might think, he's 27, he's in his prime, £60 million, not the end of the world, but when they have 12 months left on his deal, I feel like the market's changing a little bit. Like that doesn't matter so much anymore, but it should. Less time on your contract should mean less money. This is the situation with Declan Rice. People are camping out on Declan Rice. He's a very young player, he's a leader, he's an excellent Premier League CDM, a conventional CDM, lots of big teams want him. No team's going to pay $150 million. He's not going to re-sign a new deal. Let him run down and you'll get him for cheaper because he's not signing a new deal with West Ham. I think Chelsea might have started this with Eden Hazard, selling him for $90 million with 12 months left on his deal, and then having all these add-ons, which if we've made an extra 60 million on him, which is absolutely crazy. Look, Skriniar is still an option. Maybe Chelsea can get him in a deal with Romelu Lukaku. It depends on how Todd Boehly indeed, but how Thomas Tuchel feels about him as a defender. A lot of people are preferring a left footer and want someone to play on the left. I reckon he can play on the left, but still, we will see what happens there. Make sure you comment down below and leave your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on Skriniar. But let's move on and speak about Kalidou Koulibaly. If it was 2018, it was wow, Koulibaly and Van Dijk are the two defenders you want to get. They're the ones. Do you know what I mean? It's 2022, and I think he's 31 years old. So, let's read. I'm going to reference here the hardtackle.com, which has got some information from Gazzetta dello Sport. Let's read what they're saying here. 1 second. Let me just resize that so I can read it. Cool. So, Chelsea are reportedly prepared to hand a lucrative contract worth €10 million per year to lure Kalidou Koulibaly, who is a target for Barcelona and PSG. Barcelona apparently are on the brink of financial ruin, where they're getting all this crazy money to offer big contracts. PSG, fair enough. They're an oil state. They're a state-owned club. They have bottomless pits of money, and apparently financial fair play just doesn't apply to them. According to the Italian publication Gazzetta dello Sport, as relayed by Sport Witness, now being publicised on the Hard Tackle, Chelsea are plotting to beat Barcelona and PSG to the signing of Napoli defender Kalidou Koulibaly by offering him a big contract worth $10 million a year. So this isn't the first time he'd be, contacted by Chelsea. Is that tapping up? But he knows Chelsea would have been in for him a few years ago when Sarri was at Chelsea. And yeah, a lot of money. This is interesting. So listen to this. Koulibaly has been a mainstay at the back for Napoli for years, having joined from Genk in 2014. One of the most reliable defenders in Serie A and Europe. He's 30. He's not 31 yet. So he'll be 31 next season. Could make a move this summer as his contract stands to expire next year. So it's another player with just 1 year left on his deal. Koulibaly is on the deal currently worth €6 million per year, and Napoli have offered him an extension with a lowered salary of $4 million per year. So they're probably doing a bit of a Chelsea, not recent Chelsea, but maybe an old school Chelsea of, yeah, you're over 30 now, we want to keep you, but you're going to earn a bit less money. Where perhaps, your Thiago Silvas, your Ronaldos, your Lewandowskis, your Karim Benzema's are changing the landscape of the value of post-30-year-olds as we move into a new age where you just stay fitter for longer. So they're looking to slim down their wage bill in Napoli here essentially as well. Maybe not just the 30 thing, but that's probably what they'll say to him. Understandably disappointed by the proposal, Koulibaly has made his mind up about leaving the Partenope, I guess that's the name for Napoli, in the summer transfer window. Koulibaly's availability in the summer has alerted several top clubs in Europe, with Chelsea and Barcelona in particular showing serious interest in signing the Senegalese. Maybe Edouard Mendy, who's going to get a new contract, I think. Maybe he can get in the ear of him and tell him to come to Chelsea. Barcelona have made Koulibaly one of their top defensive targets heading into the summer, as Xavi Hernandez wants to add top quality centre-back to the roster. The Catalans have Piqué, who's quite old now, Eric Garcia, Araujo, however you say it, Langley, and Umtiti. You haven't seen Umtiti for ages as options, while Andreas Christensen is also expected to join on a Bosman deal, a free transfer. Yeah, with Christensen, chill out, boys. You don't play a back three. How many friggin' centre backs do you need? And you must have some kid coming through La Masia to play that role. Chill out, man. Oh, here we go. Maybe further context follows. However, both Langley and Umtiti are likely to move on this summer, while Piqué's recent injury has raised concerns over his reliability. There you go. Hence, Koulibaly has emerged as a target owing to his quality, experience at the highest level, and the leadership he offers. We need leadership. This is why we want Declan Rice as well. If you have Thiago Silva and Kalidou Koulibaly at the back, just emitting their leadership forwards, that's what we need at Chelsea Football Club, friends. Chelsea are also keen on signing Koulibaly, with the summer transfer window already open in England. The Blues have seen Antonio Rudiger join Madrid, Christensen joining Barcelona, Cesar Azpilicueta, not sure, maybe joining Barcelona. Thomas Tuchel's side must bring in at least one world-class defender. We'll bring in Jules Kounde from Sevilla. I'm still pretty darn certain of that. But also, Koulibaly, if you sign Koulibaly and Jules Kounde, it's fine. You are fine, man. That is good business. You got a young defender in Jules Kounde, up and coming, good on the ball. You've got a super leader, still in his prime-ish. And, he'll be looking at Thiago Silva going, I want to, do a bit of that. He's seven years older than me. That is crazy. And then, of course, it references Kounde here. Links to Sevilla's Jules Kounde continue to persist. But at the same time, Koulibaly is another player under consideration at Stamford Bridge. Reports have suggested Chelsea have already opened up talks with the Senegalese camp for our move. And Gazzetta report the Blues are willing to pay the 30-year-old a lucrative deal. So look, we'll give you the money, man. Barcelona, given their current financial situation, would find it hard to match those wages. PSG, another club interested, could offer him similar terms, but reports claimed the defender is tempted by Chelsea. Why would you go to PSG when you could come to the swanky Cockneys, the two-time European Cup winners, Chelsea Football Club? At the same time, however, there's been some suggestions that Koulibaly could prefer a move to Barca. Why does everyone want to go? What's Barcelona and Madrid? I mean, I know Madrid are good again, but screw that, man. Stop signing defenders, Barca. Especially ones that we either own or we want. Anyway, man, what do you think? I'm pretty stoked on Koulibaly. Like, I've been humbled. I always loved Thiago Silva, but you watch my content, many of you know that I raised a lot of concerns about Thiago Silva coming to the Premier League from Ligue 1 as a 47-year-old, and he humbled me. I've never been so pleased to be humbled because he's been immaculate. Now I'm like, bring 31-year-old Koulibaly, man. Give him a 4-year deal. Give him a 3-year deal. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. Thank you for joining me. Please drop a like. Subscribe if you're new. See you very soon. Peace.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo, chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't.